Welcome to episode number 26 of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
Together we are Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. You like what you're seeing? Like this video. Comment on it, subscribe, share it around, do all that wonderful stuff. If you want to help us out one bit further, click on that notification bell. That way you get access to all our videos and know when we go live. Also, when you're on our channel, do us a favor, watch a short or two, or just watch something, at least two videos, so we show up on your YouTube algorithm. As you know, YouTube likes to bury smaller channels like us, so that would really help us a lot. If you want to email the show, email us listening3d at gmail.com. If you want to podcast the show, it's your choice. We're on Spotify, just about everywhere, all the main ones except Apple Music for now, or Apple Podcasts as they call it. So with all that out of the way, Netta, how are you doing?
I'm not bad. Can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing good. Just chilling right now. Just ready to talk about this album here. We're going to do something a little different on the show today. It's kind of at least a first in terms of this type of album. If you want to get into the introduction, let's hear it, Netta.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about Zapp and Rogers, their greatest hits album that was released on October 26, 1993. It was their first official greatest hits album. It was certified platinum. It peaked at number 9 on the R&B and hip hop charts and number 39 on the Billboard Top 200. It had singles including Slow and Easy and Mega Medley. There were no new music videos, but there were music videos from the previous album, from I Want to Be Your Man and I Can Make You Dance. And they had no guest appearances.
All right, thank you for that. So we'll get into a little bit of background on the funk band Zapp. They're from Dayton, Ohio. Your home state heroes, I'll call them. Let's see. It primarily consisted of their lead man Roger Troutman, his brother Larry Troutman, Thomas Troutman, and if I can go to the original lineup, Lester Troutman, Terry Zapp Troutman, Gregory Jackson, and Bobby Glover, and they've had a whole ton of other members, way too many to name, but those were the primary members during their heyday when they were very popular. If you listen to hip hop music, particularly West Coast hip hop music, they had a very, very big influence on that. So to the point where Roger Troutman would just be featured on songs instead of sampled. So that's very big. One of those songs being "California Love" with Tupac and Dr. Dre. So just a little bit of background there. Fortunately, Roger Troutman died in a murder suicide. His brother Larry apparently murdered him, and then he took his own life. So very sad story there. I actually kind of want to learn more about what went on behind that. I'll probably do that on my own time, but may them both rest in peace. The Zapp band still does shows today. I don't believe they're making any new music, but I've seen them perform at concerts. Well, I haven't seen them personally, but I've seen them be on the bill for certain concerts. So, yeah, um, yeah, they do get around, at least here in Southern California. So I'd have to say one of the earliest experiences I had from them was just hearing them on other hip hop songs, their samples and everything, and then I think one of the first songs I heard from them that really got my attention was "Do Wah Diddy," and one of the singles we're going to talk about in a minute, "Slow and Easy." How about yourself? Have you heard Zapp and Roger or the Zapp band before?
I heard him before, never knew him by I never knew him by name, but I heard Computer Love a lot, and I
Hmm.
heard California Love a
Yeah,
lot. I always liked that sound whenever
Netta. Are you still there? I think Netta went out, so
I
we're
heard
gonna.
him, but I just
Well,
never knew.
I think you went out, Netta.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, there you go. All right, start that tick again.
I was just saying that I heard them a lot growing up, but didn't know them by name. I heard California Love, I heard Computer Love, and I really liked those sounds, but I never knew who this group was until now.
Oh well. I mean, that's what you should hang with me more. I can show you some more. No, I'm just kidding. But um, yeah. Well, so they are famous for the ever so popular talk box. That makes Roger Troutman or whoever's talking into it sound like a robot. I would try to do the impression, but I probably do terrible. So I'm not even going to attempt. But um, one of the reasons why we're doing this album is a friend of mine who I used to hang out with back in the day. I still see her from time to time. She lives in another country now, but she really liked this band a lot, and she was like, "Why don't you do some '80s R&B?" And gave her one suggestion. She was like, "How about this group?" I'm like, "Okay, I think we could do this group." So one of the reasons why we're doing it. So and then
Well, shout out to her.
yeah. If you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, we really enjoyed it, but I've enjoyed it a lot longer. I do have the greatest hits somewhere. Maybe toward the end of the episode, I'll uh, try to search for the CD really fast and show it to you guys. All right, so this is our first greatest hits album. So this is going to be kind of tough one in terms of like what songs we like, but since it did have some singles, we will talk the two singles. But first, before we do that, the album artwork. What are your thoughts on it?
I really liked it. It's him holding the little globe in his hand like a basketball player, but it pictures all of his albums and Zapp's albums. I like how it's like a culmination of all their work. I think it's like perfect for a greatest album. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, you don't see that every day on a greatest hits album with all the albums, all the best of the best. So I thought that was pretty cool. Would have been nice if they had gotten the whole band together, but Roger Troutman was the main front man, so that's okay.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I'm like, if this was kind of a family thing, then why weren't they all on it? But then when I looked at the list of all of the things that he did, like he did everything in this band. It
Yeah,
said he was the lead vocalist, the background vocalist. He played guitar, bass, keyboards, harmonica, vibraphone, percussion, and the talk box. And everybody else probably did like one or two of those. But
yeah.
this guy was extremely talented.
Yeah, he actually taught DJ Quick how to do the talk box too. So I mean so I know DJ Quick is very big on him. Ice Cube, another guy who was very influenced by him. Yeah, they were really, even though they're from the Midwest, they somehow found its way out west, and it's a big influence on the hip hop culture out here on the West
Yeah, I,
Coast.
I read that this guy or More Bounce to the Ounce specifically was the first hip hop song that Ice Cube ever heard in his life, and he felt like it had some chemical reaction in his brain
Hmm.
to make him just love hip hop. So I
Yeah,
thought that was great.
yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're influenced by hip hop, I mean, if you've never heard this band, you're. I honestly gotta say, you're missing out. You really are missing out. But yeah. So, but doing the greatest hits. I mean, I thought this was gonna be tough, but then I remembered I've heard this a lot of times, so I knew I knew my decisions, for my favorite songs wasn't gonna be too hard, but I do have some honorable mentions as well. So let's get into beats. This is kind of hard to choose, beat wise. I'll start with you. What were your favorites?
It was hard to choose, and I'm cheating with this one. I'm choosing Mega Medley. I mean, it was like the appetizer of the simpler songs. Like you get a little of everything. So I'm choosing that. I don't have to choose.
All right. I'll give you that one. Yeah, it was very tough. For me, I gotta go Computer Love. I think it's one of the best sample sounds like used in other hip hop songs. We could probably even do one of the things I want to do later on the show is do who did this beat or did this sample the best. So this is one of the beats I kind of want to use for that. So I mean that one, and then another one I really liked was "Be All Right." Um, Reminds me of that Tupac song. I forget the name of it. Keep Your Head Up. Yeah, that one. So I like how, yeah, how that song was very, very well done, and so that would probably be my second favorite. And yeah, that's after that it's kind of fair game in terms of. I mean, More Bounce to the Ounce was a great beat. Do With Roger was a great beat. Dance Floor, Do Wah Diddy. I mean, all of them, all the songs on here were just incredible. Not a.
And if you held a gun up to my head, I would choose more bounce to the ounce.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is a good one. It is a good one. All right. So let's do the singles, and then we'll do the two videos that I was able to find. I'll talk more about the music videos in a sec, but let's start slow and easy. This was one of the first songs I heard from them, and I noticed with the song, like he didn't use the talk box as much as he does in like a lot of other songs. So I thought it had like a feature, but just it was just the band for the most part. So because I thought every time they got on like the started singing or whatever that they always used talk box, but that wasn't always the case. So yeah, was
Y-
slow and easy.
y- Yeah, I thought of that too when I was listening to it. Like they're using the talk box very minimally on here.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a normal '90s R&B song, like
Hmm.
especially compared to the rest of the album. Like it kind of reminded me like of a million '90s R&B songs I heard before,
Hmm.
almost like Boys to Men. Even
Yeah.
it was a good song though.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, I mean, with it being a single, I mean, when I did my research, I knew that it was one of their later songs that they did in the 90s. I didn't really particularly know it was a single off of here. So, I mean, so if you did buy this in the 90s, you were getting some new content, which is good. And I was a little bummed that there was no music video for it, unfortunately. But, but I mean, great song. I mean, one of my favorites on here. Oops, I gave it away. But yeah, let's move on to Mega Medley, which was the other single, some other new content, and this is like just everything mixed in one. And I think it was really good in terms of like, if you want to introduce someone to this group, Zapp and Roger, in less than 5 minutes, there you go, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It had just about every song on the Greatest Hits album on here. I thought it was really good. They were all like seamlessly mixed together.
Mm,
Um and it felt the beat kind of overpowered the
mm.
songs a little bit. Like when I compared Mega Medley to the actual songs, it was like
Oh,
the beat was a little more strong on Mega Medley.
yeah.
So I really liked it.
Yeah, well, and you can totally tell that a DJ, put it together. And so, definitely, speeding up the beats per minute, doing whatever you got to do to pump up the song, make it, worth their while. Just not a, regular old just we're gonna play this song here, play this song there. So, I mean, I've heard
Right.
other songs like that as well. I know Ice Cube has a song in particular on one of his compilations. If we ever get down to that later, we'll definitely discuss that. But good song, definitely. But if, like I said, if you want a great introduction to these guys, I would recommend just listening to Mega Medley, and then you'll just want to listen to everything else. all
Yeah.
all right. So the music videos, I was only able to find two when doing research on this album. If anyone found any more, just let us know in the comments, and we'll be good. I'll be happy to go back and watch them. And when I mean music videos, I mean official music videos, not like live performances on Soul Train or something like that. So just got to be specific there. So I guess we'll go with the what was the name of that? The first one. We'll do, yeah, I Can Make You Dance. We'll do that one first. What were your thoughts on this one?
I really enjoyed this one. it's in between saying I can make you dance, he's kind of like weaving like a tale of like
Hmm.
taking the listeners away from the stressors of
Yeah.
everyday life. He said, the world is in a really bad way, but I can make it better. I can set you free from your trouble. They can raise the price of the food and the drink, but what I offer you won't cost a doggone thing.
Hmm.
And I was listening to one of his interviews, and he was talking about how his parents used to be really cross with him during the week, but they were very nice and easygoing on the weekends. And he
Oh.
thought it was because of the music, so he
Oh.
just started making music for his parents, and that's what this song reminded me of. Like he's like trying to take the listener away from their stress and troubles, and it's effective. Like you can't help but move to this
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, I'm not a very good dancer, but even I get the need to want to move to this song, at times. Yes, I'm a black dude who has no rhythm. I admit it here on this podcast. But yeah, I can make you dance. I really, in terms of like, singing, make you dance, just like I like that. I like that part, just how it goes into
Yeah.
that like pitch there. It's a very good song, and it's if the video speaks for itself. Definitely the whole Zapp band there, just doing their thing, and in their nice suits and their disco attire, whatever you want to call it, and you really get to see Roger, just going at it with that talk box. It's just so incredible, like how he does it. And I honestly, I gotta say, it was just music ahead of its time.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. When I saw him with the talk box, honestly, I didn't know that back then they had to use this straw like thing
Mm,
for the talk box. So when I saw the video, I'm like, what is the heck is in his mouth? But
yeah.
he says in the song like right here in this tube. And I was looking at another interview of his, and he was talking about why he started using the talk box so much. And he said before he ever had a hit record, he would use it in nightclubs doing cover songs. And every time he used the voice box, the people would just be like hypnotized.
Yeah.
So he just was like, I'm taking it to the extreme. It is very effective. I love the sound.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a great sound, excellent sound. And then the other video we'll talk about is "I Want to Be Your Man." This was a Roger solo hit off his well, what album was it off of? I want to be. It was off his Unlimited record. It was more definitely a R&B one. Again, kind of like slow and easy, very minimal talk box use. I mean, you get to really see his like singing abilities in this one. So as for the music video itself, I mean, it was, I guess you can kind of say it was your typical 1980s R&B music type video. I mean, I didn't really care for it too much. I liked I Can Make You Dance a lot better than this one when it came to the music videos. What were your thoughts on this one?
Well, with regard to the music video, I thought I couldn't tell if he was being like dramatic because I was like, this seems like a parody, but this was the '80s, so he might have been dead serious. But he
Yeah.
was extremely dramatic. He was like Willy Wonka meets Prince. It was very interesting video, but the song itself,
Hmm.
it probably lights up like a million neurons in my head
Yeah.
because I just associate it with like old movies, like specifically like Love and Basketball, the scene where Monica and what was his name?
Yeah, I forget his
I don't
name.
know,
My wife loves that
but
movie, Love and Basketball.
yeah, it's the scene where they're like at a dance and they're both dancing with other people and looking at each other, and this song is playing. So this song reminds me of that, and I like it. It's like it's crazy how soulful he can make a computer voice
Yeah.
sound. And I also like how he's going back and forth between his real voice and the auto tune voice, and I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man. Like
Yeah.
it like goes back and forth. I thought that was cool.
I mean, the song itself does sound a little corny based on like the context, but I mean, you can't help but like, but just keep listening to it in terms of just like, oh, this is a good song, great, fabulous beat, for sure. But
And, I think it stems from a kind of a corny place because another video I was looking at, he was saying what were his intentions with making this song, and he was like, "A lot of guys are so against commitment, and I just wanted to show them that it's okay to be weak for the ladies." So it's kind of corny, in its inception. So
Yeah,
yeah, but you
yeah.
can't help but listen to
I mean, it's like it's a good catchy song, but it's like when you like hear like the context of it, it's like really like yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. All
Yeah.
right. Now to the hard part of this episode, our top three. All right, Netta, moment of truth. What are yours?
Okay, so I've got Computer Love, I Can Make You Dance, More Bounce to the Ounce, with an honorable mention for I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
All right, yeah, we're way off. um, so mine were Computer Love. I had to go also with Do Wah Diddy, and then I gave it away earlier. I don't know what it was, but with the '90s or something. But Slow and Easy just cracked my top three. I mean, I know it's not one of the most played songs, like if you look at the Spotify views anyway. Um, Honorable mentions go to the Night and Day '93 remix, which I know that's probably like one of the lowest played songs on this whole album, and then. Another one I really liked was I'm just gonna go with two more here. Do It Roger and the Dance Floor song was a really good one too. So
Okay, but this is my first foray into your R&B choices. So yeah, we're way off, but this is interesting.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess you can I mean no, Missy Elliott doesn't count. Yeah, this is like our first actual R&B album that we're doing. So oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, her, but no no. So I guess Computer Love for me, one, the beat's incredible. You've heard it on a bunch of samples throughout the years, and like I said, hopefully one of these episodes we'll do, a sample beat episode, who did the beat the best, so once I set it up, I know you're gonna like it a lot, so can't wait to do that. But in terms of just like computer love, you think of computer love like today, and it's just like online dating, which I guess back in the '80s, and this is how yeah, I say that this group was really ahead of its time. It's just like computer love, like no one would be talking about that. Would it be your face I see on your computer screen? And then it's like, I don't know how a music video just was not made for this. Like, yeah, I really don't. I mean, I was reading through the on here on Wikipedia that a music video was planned, but ultimately, yeah, they didn't make it happen, unfortunately. But it's a very very good song, very catchy song. I mean, a song I don't ever get tired of hearing, a beat I don't ever get tired of hearing. Very good song. What were your thoughts on Computer Love?
I had similar thoughts. I'm like, this was released in 1985. What the heck do these people know about computers? And I really searched to find out why did he make a song about computer love, but I couldn't find anything. If you found anything, please let us know in the comments because I really want to know. But I did think the auto tune was like a nice touch to
Yeah,
talking about computer love.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was just it blew me away. Even like saying digital love, it's just like physical,
Yeah.
digital. Like it's yeah. I mean, it was R&B ahead of its time. I mean, I'll keep saying it. It was very incredible.
One thing I did find about it where the reason he made this song is because he said people said I couldn't sing. They said the talk box was a gimmick, so he decided to do the song "Computer Love," which gave the voice box a whole new character, a sexy character. But he failed to mention anything about the computer, like why the computer. But
Well,
it's a great song.
I'm sure people used it years later, and if you know what I mean. All right. So we'll get into one of your picks. What was What was your second favorite song on here? Or
Um, I can make you
all right, we
dance,
already talked
and
about
we
that
already
one.
talked about that one. So,
More
more
bounce.
bounce to the ounce.
All right, what do you like about this one? This is incredible song, by the way.
Yeah, I like that. Usually we're doing the rap song, so I'm way more focused on the lyrics. But
Mm,
this one, I was a little more focused on the beat because the beat and the lyrics are like so interwoven. You almost can't tell where one starts and the other begins, and it kind of felt like disco meets hip hop. So
yeah.
I just really enjoyed it. I just really liked the vibe of it. What did you think of it?
It's I think it's a great beat. Definitely. More bounce to the ounce. Definitely not too much lyrically going on, but it's just like I hear it, and then it's like I hear it in just like a bunch of other hip hop samples, like EPMD's "You Got to Chill," "Friday" by Ice Cube, "Going Back to Cali" by the Notorious B.I.G., "Ain't No Future in Your Front" by MC Breed and the DFC. I mean, those are just some of the samples that were used for that song. Another one that comes to mind, Rodney on Joe Cooley's. But you don't hear me though. I mean, that was another great sample. I mean, it's a if I can find something like based off the samples that have been used by artists that were inspired by Zapp and Roger, I mean, I can find them. There's a whole list that goes on and on. But I mean, great beat, and I really enjoy the song. It's a great song. Don't get me wrong, but just yeah, greatest hits. We're going to be way off, and I can totally tell in this episode that yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be close.
Yeah, he said after this is the song that like slung him into the stratosphere, and he said
Mm,
after more bounce, my life changed. It was just groovy from that point on, and I survived all these years and trends. So he did this interview in 1998,
mm.
so it was a big song for him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I know he's no longer with us, but I'm sure he was getting a lot of royalties off that song alone, especially with the samples and everything. So, um,
Yeah.
and then let's see the other one, Do Wah Diddy, Blow That Thing. That was one of my favorites. Once again, I heard it early on, and it's just like just the beat. Do, 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 do. It's been sampled, in a bunch of other songs also. And then I just like just them singing "Blow That Thing," and then it's just goes into like another pitch, like with the beat. Just a nice song to groove to, sit back, relax, ride around with. I mean, I really enjoyed this one a lot. Any thoughts on Do Wah Diddy?
I guess the only thing I was thinking of is they're talking about blow and it's the 80s, and I'm like, is this about drugs? But it was it was a pretty good song though. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then any other songs that you wanted to discuss? I know. Um,
I really liked. I heard it through the grapevine. I really liked that one. Mainly because it's like a sad song about a man, he's finding out the girl's gonna leave him, but it's like it's an exciting song too. Like it's
mm,
I like that combination of both sad and an
yeah,
exciting song that you want to dance to.
yeah, it's a cover song. It's been originally it was done by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong, and then it's been Marvin Gaye did a version of it, The Miracles, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and then of course Zapp and Rogers also done their version of it. I think it was also done by I don't know if you're familiar with this cartoon show. It was late '80s, early '90s. The California Raisins. They did a
Mm-mm.
version. Yeah, we're probably way before, probably not way, but a little bit before your time. But yeah, they did a version of it as well. California Raisins, folks, Google them. um, but yeah, good song. I heard it through the grapevine. Just it reminds me of just the grapevine here in California. Just going through. It's the one I-5 kind of splits into a grapevine. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, that's cool. I would never think about it like that, but that's cool.
Yeah, I know for me, if I'm talking about honorable mention, the Night and Day '93 remix, Really like the beat, had that 90s feel, like had that. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not a dancer, but kind of like reminds me of like, just guys just like dancing like in, kind of in a straight line, um kind of like boy bands, what they did like in the late 90s, like Backstreet, NSYNC, those guys. So yeah, so that's what that song kind of reminded me of. The original version is all right too, but I like the remix a little better.
Yeah, that one reminded me of Boys to Men, End of the Road.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. 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 Kind of had that feel too. It was done in '93, so that was around that time. Yeah. So, all right. So, any track on here you like the least amount, or just you do it out, or did you love them all?
In the Mix, I didn't like In the Mix.
Yeah, I didn't like it in that mix either. So we agree there. It was a all right song. Just I'm pretty sure if you go through all their albums, we can probably find a better track to replace it with. That's all I'm going to say there. All
Yeah.
right. So there were no album cuts or expansions. I do have this on CD. I would like to get it on vinyl one of these days. Recommendations. So if you are familiar with the series, if I could pull it up um, on my Spotify list, just give me a minute here. Compilations, 20th Century Masters, the Millennium Collection. So both these are recommended through there if you're familiar with those. The Best of Parliament, if you're into that, R&B funk from the '70s, definitely check them out. And then I guess you can kind of say the best of the Ohio players. Both groups, Zapp and the Ohio players, did a lot of work with each other. So definitely check them out, along with all the other Zapp albums and Roger albums out there. Zapp has done a total of 6 albums. I think Roger had 3 albums, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. I could double check right now. Yeah, yeah, he had actually 4 albums. 4 albums. So yeah, definitely check their whole catalog out. So we put this episode to rest. Anything else you want to say or add before we do our closing thoughts?
Well, I'm taking back I Can Make You Dance. I really love that song, and I think Zapp and Roger, like you said, they were ahead of their time. The sound is timeless. The subject matter, dancing, loving, having fun, that's timeless. And I would definitely recommend this album.
Yeah, I would recommend it as well, especially if you love that '80s sound, or if you're just looking for something new to your ears that might be a bit older. But a lot of these songs I've listened to over the years. I mean, I can honestly say probably I might take Slow and Easy back. I mean, I haven't listened to that track in a while on a consistent basis, so definitely that one for sure. And Night and Day, that's another great song. Do Wop Diddy, I listen to time and time again. So I'm not gonna do that. And of course, Computer Love, I listen to time and time again. So yeah, probably the only one I'm probably taking back would be Slow and Easy, that I would listen to on a more consistent basis. All right, so we recommend. What do you think of this album? What are your top 3 tracks? What tracks did you not like? Let us know in the comments below. For Wondrous Net, aka Netta, I'm Justin, Too Tall for Youthful, saying thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next one. Later.